I believe we can all agree that nothing beats some homemade tomato sauce. It's just one of those things that you can be sure that the entire family will love. Plus, you can use it in so many ways in the kitchen to make meatballs, for example, pasta dishes, pizza, stews, or even as a condiment. The list goes on. Hi, I'm Kate Hannell, and welcome to We Eat at Last, where we share delicious air fryer recipes as well as simple, globally inspired recipes. Today, we're going to be making, as you can guess, some homemade tomato sauce using fresh tomatoes in the Ninja Foodi. You want to start by cleaning your tomatoes. I'm using 12 tomatoes here. Start by peeling and slicing your onion. You can use yellow, white, or red onion. For this, I prefer to use the yellow variety. And then we're just going to slice this. You really don't have to cut it fine because we're going to be blending the sauce later. And then you want to slice the garlic. And then you just want to slice the tomatoes. And when it comes to tomatoes, you can use any variety as a general rule, but you want to go for the fleshy, meaty variety, such as San Marzano or Roma tomatoes. But again, you can pretty much use any type of fresh tomatoes that you have. Try as much as possible to make sure that you're cutting the tomatoes in a similar way or in an equal size to ensure that they all cook evenly. Switch on your Ninja Foodi, set it on the saute function, and then press start so that it comes on. And next we're going to add the olive oil. I'm using 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 3 to 4 tablespoons is okay. And we're just going to allow this to heat. You then want to add in the onion. I'm using 1 medium-sized onion. I'm then adding in the garlic, 5 to 8 cloves. These are 8 cloves. And we're not even going to allow the garlic to brown, just a slight sizzle. We then want to add some wine. And you can use grapefruit juice, water, or even stock in place of red wine. I'm then going to add the vegetable stock. I'm using half a cup of vegetable stock here. You then want to add in the tomatoes. It's very important that you follow this order. Next goes in the tomato paste. I'm using 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Some brown sugar to cut out the acidity of the tomatoes and tomato paste. You can also use 1 whole carrot instead of brown sugar if you want to keep this healthy. And then just add 1 teaspoon of salt. We can always adjust the amount of salt later. And pepper to taste. Some bay leaves. And this is ready to pressure cook. Put the pressure cooking lid on. Make sure the valve is set to seal. Set your Ninja Foodi on the pressure cooking function at high pressure and set the time to 25 minutes. And then you just want to open the lid. Remove the bay leaves, add the Italian seasoning, and then we're just going to use a hand blender to process. And because we're using fresh tomatoes, and also depending on the variety of tomatoes you're using, it could be that your tomato sauce ends up being too watery. That is not a problem at all, because you can simply allow it to saute for a further 5 to 15 minutes, and this should thicken it up. You can also use a cornstarch slurry. Make 1 portion of cornstarch to 2 portions of water. I usually like to start with a teaspoon. Another thing you could do is just add some more tomato paste, but you have to be careful with this because it may end up being bitter, in which case you may add some sweetener, the brown sugar that we use, or raisins, or even a sugar-free sweetener if you prefer. And then we're just going to season the tomato sauce with some Italian seasoning and check for salt and pepper. And the reason we're adding the seasoning at the end is because sometimes the herbs and seasoning tend to turn bitter when cooked too long in tomato-based sauces, and this is definitely not what we want. I'm just going to garnish my tomato sauce with some basil, but you can also use other herbs that you prefer. I hope you enjoyed this Ninja Foodi tomato sauce recipe. If you're new to my channel, kindly don't forget to subscribe, as well as click on the notification button below so you get notified each time I upload a new video. I'm glad you stopped by, and until next time, bye bye.